How to engage your kids in fun math while at home. Hi, I'm Dr. Angelica Underwood, and I am an expert in human development and learning. And my goal with these interviews are to lead through uncertain times, to give people hope, ideas, strategies, and I'm connecting with amazing people that have those golden nuggets that they're going to be sharing with you today. But with me today, I have Grace. I'm going to let you pronounce your full name for me, with all my respect. Love you. And she is the creator of the multi-award winning math board games, Race to Infinity, and the author of what is it? Make
Race.
Math Fun, right? Is it Race to Infinity and the author of Make Math Fun and how to increase your child's grades and confidence through games. So she is here. She's very passionate about this and she helps kids that are struggling with math. And I'm just going to kind of let her start. Introduce yourself, full name, and then tell us something that I probably missed that you would like people to know about you.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm Grace Olugbodi, and I specialize in helping children fall in love with mathematics. I'm actually, I'm actually a doctor as well, but I'm not a real doctor. I'm an honorary doctor. I was given an honorary doctorate in recognition of my work in helping children fall in love with mathematics. And so what I do is I support parents to help the children with mathematics because most parents are afraid of mathematics themselves and don't know how to help their children. So I bridge that gap and I show parents exactly how they can support their children with mathematics in an easy way without tearing their hair out or dying fast before they do that.
Yeah. A lot of kids, and I don't feel like, I think that a lot of adults, as well as children, they struggle with math. I'm just curious why that's one of our weaknesses. Have you ever kind of delved into that? I'm just
Yeah.
curious.
Yeah, so I've done quite a bit of research about this, and I realized that the main problem is because when we were younger, for those of us older ones, and even the kids who are now still young and still going through this, what's been happening is that mathematics has not been related to real life properly in school. And the big why, what I call the big why, which is why are we doing mathematics? What am I going to need it for? Am I going to ever use this in future? That's not been taught properly in schools generally. And children have been taught by rote, and not actually relating it to things that they see in everyday life. And this is where the problem starts. It starts to become, and then because it then is quite abstract, children find it difficult to relate to.
Right.
And when they start not feeling like they like it so much, that's where the problem starts to, escalate. Because then they think, oh no, I'm not one of the good ones at maths, which isn't the case. But they just assume that because they haven't quite gotten one or two things, because it's not been made fun in their school, a lot of the time, they can't relate to it properly, and this is where this
Right. And I think that what you're saying is that we're not relating to mathematics, I think is the problem. I think that when teachers are educating kids, right? And I'm not blaming you teachers. I'm an educator as well. But that piece of connecting it with something, our prior knowledge is really important because if we don't, then you're still like in a gaze, you're just kind of in a daze, like wondering like, oh,
what is this about?
what is it about? What does that mean? So I think that being able to connect it with something that you already know and to new information, because that's how the brain works. It's always looking to make connections. It's like a meaning machine, right? Always looking for meaning. What does that mean? What does that mean?
Yep.
So how do you help parents who have kids that struggle with math?
Okay, so the first thing I do is to go back to what their thoughts are about maths and what their attitude is to maths and what their feelings around mathematics are. A lot of adults have what we call mathematical anxiety. And they have beliefs and mind blocks that they've had from when they were younger, because a lot of them had terrible experiences with maths when they were younger. So the first thing I always do is to go through that with them. I ask them a series of questions in a sort of more relaxed way, not the usual question
Mm-hmm.
asking bits. And then I then go through that journey with them. What they went through when they were younger, what the experiences were, how they felt in class when they were being taught. What sort of experiences did they have when they were doing their exams? And then looking at that, trying to relate that to what's happening now. What sort of ages their children are, what their children are learning, what the adult feels that they know so far out of the bits that the children are learning, how they feel when they need to support their children with maths. What sort of conversations have they been having around maths with their child? What do they say to their child? Do they say things like, "Oh no, I don't know any maths, don't come to me, go to dad," you know?
Right.
So I go through all of that with them, and then I start fixing those one at a time. And I do the fixing through a series of programs that I created. But I always encourage games in particular because it helps to fix that problem with the adult and the child at the same time, which is quite.
Mm-hmm. So, like right now, there's a lot. I mean, almost everybody's home, right? Because there
Yeah.
is a world crisis. And we're educating our kids from home right now. I know that the school districts, your school system, they have to come up with a completely new way of doing things and doing virtual learning. But you've been having virtual learning for quite a while, so that's
Yeah.
a blessing. So what do you have that you feel, and this is free, guys, so don't go into shock and say, I'm going to run, they're trying to sell. We're not trying to sell anything to you. We're trying to give you tips on what you can do during these uncertain times. So what can kids do right now to get better in math while they're home?
All right. So again, it will be parents that would, champion this because we're the
Mhm.
ones who are homeschooling our children, right? Yes.
Right.
Yes. But apart from the work that they've been given in school that they have to do, but my stuff is to complement what they're already doing in school.
Mhm.
But it would be to, I do have some programs that I created, and some of them are free, actually, which is teaching them maths through maths tricks, through games, through creative ways, and also relating that to real life. So it's almost like fixing the problem that they already have because they hadn't had that in school before and still not have it in school, and then complementing that and using that basic learning that they're getting in school, but relating that to their everyday lives with them and for them, but including the parent, so that the parent knows exactly how to do it, how to guide them when they're doing this. And games is a big part of it.
Mhm. You know, but if parents are having a hard time with math, if they're the ones that are struggling and their children are struggling, I know that you have games, right? So, do you feel that gaming is a way to feel more comfortable and confidence with math? And then you're building those basic skills, or how did you integrate gaming into math?
Yes, I definitely recommend gaming as a big way too, but I recommend board games. So I'd just like to clarify what kind of games.
Okay.
And I'll tell you a little story. In 1997, I was doing my BSc. Is that what you guys call it? Do you guys call it bachelor's degree?
Bachelor's. Mhm.
Yeah. And I studied computing. So I went to the Student Union building one day and I saw an advert there. And it was an advert asking for volunteers who would like to go into schools and help children who were struggling with maths build their maths confidence through games and through creative ways.
Mhm.
And it was for children who had low confidence in mathematics. So I thought, oh no, how come they have such problems with mathematics? It was obvious that these children were suffering from what we call mathematical anxiety or mathematical phobia. And I thought this isn't right, that I've got to fix this. I thought this is it was heartbreaking, and that wasn't my experience, because when I was younger, when I was 10 years old, my father supported me in mathematics and made maths fun and creative for me, and that gave me a lot of confidence. I started winning maths prizes and all that. So when I fast forward 9 years, when I saw this at university, I thought that this isn't right. I'm going to join and go volunteer in schools. So we were doing that, and then initially when we first started, the kids would come into the class like that, like, oh no, we're the dumb ones and we're the ones that are not great at maths, and we're like the ones that aren't very smart. But within 6 weeks, their confidence had turned around, and they would run in to come and meet us in the classroom that we would be waiting for them in every week when we've gone in to go and help them with their maths through games and through creative ways. And then I realized that that the teachers also were sort of saying that these kids had more confidence, they were engaging more in class, they were putting their hands up more in class, they knew what they were doing a bit more, and I thought, wow, in just 6 weeks. And I thought, well, it wasn't a big deal what we did. Okay, yes, there was a little method around it, which is one of the things that I teach, but it wasn't a big deal like that, and it was fun, and I thought, okay, so we're helping children in schools like this. How about parents? Because that's when I then realized the main problem, the initial problems were that too many children hate maths. They don't believe they can get good at it, and they find it a boring chore. As I said, they also don't know how to relate maths to real life a lot of the time, and they don't have fun, creative ways to practice mathematics at home, because it's not just a school thing. We need the home side. So I realized they don't have fun ways to practice maths at home, and then that's when I realized that the bigger problem was that too many parents are afraid of maths themselves and don't know how to help their children. And then I started looking into statistics in the UK, in America, and it was just crazy. I mean, up to half the adults in the UK have numeracy levels no greater than that of an 11-year-old. And it's costing the UK economy £20 billion a year, which is $25 billion. How much more America? You guys are a much, much larger country, so you have much of a bigger problem there. So that's when I set out to help parents. And I thought, I want to create a game that would be a version of game that parents would play at home with their children, and a game that parents and children would be able to go back and want to play it over and over and over again, because we didn't have that in the schools. In the schools, the children were coming and were excited because we were there to help them, and they felt special. It wasn't that they would pick up those games and go and play them at home.
Right.
So create one that the kids would go and pick up at home, and that parents would be able to play with the kids. Therefore, the parents wouldn't feel like they're having to teach maths. They'll just be playing a game. So that's why I created the Race to Infinity game. And that's where my whole experience came from, of now knowing how to use that method I learned at the time to be able to use this game to then use it to support parents to teach their children with maths. And in addition to that, though, I then came up with a whole lot of maths tricks and a lot of videos, and just a whole program to actually support parents with maths.
That's really great, because when kids feel that they're struggling and they don't like something and they hate it, they begin to create a lot of anxiety in the body, and then they begin to shut down. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to know, because they don't want to be embarrassed in front of people. So I think that board games makes it fun, makes it interesting, and they're probably willing to learn, right? They're going to be willing to learn it. Like, say, I'm going to try to get this. Because go ahead.
Because they'll be learning without realizing that they're learning it. It just has to be the right board game, though. But as long as the right board game is teaching the things that they're actually learning in schools and supporting them with it, and has what I call replayability in the games industry, which is that ability of the game to bring that child back to want to come and play it over and over again, they'll actually be learning without realizing they're learning. So they're learning the times tables all the way through, just like that, not having to memorize anything, not having to learn by rote, just knowing stuff and getting it like that. I mean, my daughter learned her whole times tables at the age of 6 just by playing the game with us at home. She learned everything, and she had the record in her class for the child who could do her times table fastest in 1 minute 59 seconds at age 6.
Oh my!
And that was her whole times table. And that's by repetition, playing a game.
My niece needs to get this one. Her little boy is 3, and the other day he was like, 10 plus 3 is 13. And we're like, where'd you learn this?
Wow,
Getting it from YouTube
that's
or
amazing.
blogs. So imagine if he's doing some type of board game. So yeah. So let me see. So you have board games, you have online videos that parents can kind of reach out, and that's one of the ways that you can help them. You have free online videos that they can start to see if this is something for them, right?
Yep,
That would
yep,
still support them.
that's correct. Yep.
Um, where can people follow you and find you? I mean, how can they continue tapping into your wisdom?
Right, and our website is www.racetoinfinity, same name as the game, racetoinfinity.com. And I'm also on LinkedIn, so they can actually connect with me on LinkedIn as well. On Instagram, we are Race to Infinity. That's a handle on there. And so, yeah, they can contact us this way.
That's amazing. And one of the other things that I want parents to kind of understand, and we're here to help you and support you, especially during these uncertain times. So you can connect with Grace. She has created board games. Are the boards games sold directly through you, or are they sold through Amazon?
Both, but I usually prefer to tell people to just get it off Amazon because they'll do much better delivery at this sort of times. Like I've got no special delivery mechanisms for them to get it during this situation that we're all in,
Okay.
COVID-19. Yeah.
Okay. So she's going to put all the links below. I mean, if you are a parent and you have children or teenagers, would this be helping teenagers? Like, what's the age range on what you provide?
So the maths game is ages 6 to 13.
Okay.
Having said that, because it's not just a maths game, it also has the way I built it in such a way that it develops critical thinking skills, creative thinking skills, analytical thinking skills, emotional intelligence, decision making. Even children over 13 or children either struggling with maths or even just children over 13. Like my son is 16, he plays the game all the time. He plays it with his friends who are the same age. So there are other things in there that the child gets to learn or that a youth gets to develop apart from just maths, and that's why I created it to be like a robust game like that could teach quite a few things.
Beautiful. Okay. So if you need more information, she's going to be posting the links below, and that way you can actually just easily click on it and find her. She is in social media, and she's going to share that information with you as well. I'm Dr. Angelica Underwood, and you can also find me. I have Unified Minds Academy for people that are homeschooling. So if you're interested, you could link up with me there. If you're an adult and you really want to work on dreaming and turning them into reality, it's the Master Manifestor Lab. And you could find me anywhere under my name, Angelica Underwood. So tell them where they can go in the social media so that they can really find you there.
Okay. Race to Infinity on Instagram, or you can find me, Grace Olugbodi, on LinkedIn. And other links, websites, www.racetoinfinity.com. To find the game, it's on Amazon. Just type in Race to Infinity and it will come up. And we also, my book as well, Make Maths Fun, you can find that on Amazon as well.
Yes. So we're going to place all the links below, and that way you can easily find it, just in a click, and you will be able to connect with Grace. Grace, I really want to thank you for your time, because I know that parents are needing people like you with this knowledge, and these gives this opportunity to help kids, help their children love math, because numbers are important anywhere we go,
Yeah.
Luckily, go ahead.
No, I said they're very key. It's everything, Yeah.
They
And it's
are.
a more competitive world as well compared to the one that we grew up in. So, nowadays, it's just even youths are finding it harder to get good jobs without getting at least confident with mathematics. They don't have to be geniuses, but they have to get confident with maths. So it's not really something that we can skimp on. We've got to support our children to get confident with maths.
Absolutely. Well, thank you again, Grace. And I really want to thank everybody who's watching. Go back to the beginning. She shares beautiful nuggets and wisdom on how to help your struggling child with math. connect with me. I'm interviewing many, many experts in different topics, especially dealing with mindset. And thank you again, Grace. And please comment below, ask a question, Grace, and I can come back and we can answer them. And we're asking that you share this interview because there's a lot of children out there that might be struggling with math, and parents who see the interview will feel like a big relief and saying, wow, I wish I could have found this a long time ago.
A lot of people say that to me.
Here, right?
A lot of people say that to me.
It will make a difference. So thank you. And I will see you later at 1 o'clock. I interview my next person. Bye-bye.
Take care. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.